We are muted. YouTube, mic check. YouTube, I apologize. So I was just saying, I was ranting at TikTok here because TikTok has been a hot platform as of late, and I've been taking a whole lot of shit. Excuse my language, but you guys know what I'm up against over there with the TikTok kids, taking a whole lot of shit, and I understand the confusion, and I have sympathy for people that don't understand. I understand I was trolling with my red folder, but I can't explain why we're having this conversation. I can explain why I'm trying to save America and do my part and speak out on, real assets that we can use to replace the fiat system that is the beast system that has been used to enslave and hold back humanity. And so this conversation goes deep. I want to talk about real solutions. I want to call out the people that need to be called out. Let's bring all truth. Let's let it be revealed, and let's hold them accountable. Now, you guys are seeing it flip upside down with Elon Musk taking over Twitter. Incredible show that we're watching. Mr. Donald Trump waiting in the shadows, still basically being persecuted on his way back, though, whether you like him or not. Okay, and then we have these digital assets, these suppressed assets. We have digital assets that have been suppressed, and then we have silver, gold, precious metals that I believe have been suppressed as well, along with other commodities that have already had major breakouts during this time that we've seen a end of the old system, an end of the old system. And what have they done in the previous currency resets? They bought back the gold, and then they set the price higher. That's why we're having the conversation. If you're new to the conversation, please, let's get you caught up to speed. This is 10 years of research and dedication to this hustle, this survival of what I call the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. Not only do we want to make it through the recession, we don't want to have to turn the key on our business. We don't want to have to not be able to feed our families this winter. We want to be able to keep the lights turned on. But we knew we were under attack. Now, it wasn't popular to talk about prepping last year during a bull run, but that's what we had to do. Starting out tonight's episode, check this out. I will go back into the cryptocurrency prices at the end, but we got to get into what matters here. This is what we were talking about last year during a bull run when it was not popular to be talking about prepping, essentials, a supply chain crisis, an inflation problem that was going to get worse, Wall Street silver. The pig herd in Germany has shrunk by 20% in just 2 years. Now, I thought it'd be fun to start this session here tonight by talking about the pigs. Now, I know some people don't eat pork. That's fine. But this goes to show what we've been talking about, the protein, the real food that matters, the staples of our households and the families across this planet. The price is going up, and it's going up crazy. And I was just watching, actually, before I got on here, I was watching the Vice special, which I understand that Vice is kind of, gotten a little agenda there. But nonetheless, I was watching their video on inside the bank runs that were taking place in the bank robberies that were taking place in Lebanon, because their inflation, went up over, nearly 100% and completely destroyed the value. And then for 2 years now, the people haven't been able to withdraw their money out of the banks, like $400 a week max. And so they started, the citizens basically have an uprising that was taking place here. And this is the situation, the real situation in the streets. While they debate, this is why this is important. The doofus moron economists that are on CNBC are still debating whether or not we're in a recession based off the technicalities. And it's real nice, right? To be on CNBC, to get be paid the big bucks to be the Wall Street shill. Meanwhile, we see here, Germany right here, their pig herd is shrunk by 20% in just 2 years, right? Over the last 2 years, this is all done by design. The energy policies of Germany are forcing this trend upon farmers. Elections have consequences, what Wall Street Silver says. Now, this is just one data point, one of many that we were looking and seeing within food, within the supply chain crisis. And they're debating, and I think it's disgusting that they're debating whether or not we're in a recession based off the technicalities, the nuances that the economists do their little dance with. And the situation on the streets just is so clear as day. Clear as day. And then you see this stuff, these situations just one after another. And it's, people make a joke about this, talking about the pigs. The first article tonight's show, we're talking about the pigs because it matters. Because it matters. People are going to go bust here. We are just 1 year into a recession. They're debating on whether or not the definition of recession has been met. Meanwhile, this situation here, as we roll on into 2023, I am going to make sure that my businesses are going to succeed. My program's going to work into the next year. But you can see the setup for the for not just the American people, but for the West. And you guys are seeing the crises hit across this planet. Now, it was not popular last year, but we were talking about prepping in essentials in the middle of that crypto bull run. Now, as we analyze how much farther we could go, I found some interesting threads here. Two from Hawes. MF Hawes on Twitter is the handle. Check out these threads. Get ready for a massive crash. I'm predicting that the S&P 500 and other indices will plummet an additional 40% from their current levels. Here's why. The recent rally was due to a decline in yields as the market thought the Fed would cut rates. But during the last FOMC meeting, Jay Powell made it clear that more rate hikes are likely and the job isn't finished. Yields are now reflecting this and starting to upward trend. This is your 10-year. The yield surge will result in a strong US dollar. I predict a double top or a slightly new high for the DXY. The surge in the US dollar will decimate equities and commodities, leading to a steep and illiquid sell-off. This is your DXY dollar currency index, and you can see what that's going to do here. He's saying one more double top, one more run up. During a bear market, the largest percentage declines often happen after the end, leading to a significant decline in prices. And he's saying that we match up with 1973, 1974 bear market, where we did another 39.66%, so nearly a 40%. And like he's saying right here, with similar megaphone patterns and shared factors of inflation and an oil crisis, if market forecasted steep illiquid sell-off occurs, the market could fall another 40-50%. For the S&P, guys, this is not for our cryptos. If this happens to the S&P, guys, our cryptos, to be honest with you, could get smacked another 60-70%. Even more for some. I mean, some I've been saying, I think go away. Don't even survive this bear market in the cryptocurrency space. But you're talking about the S&P major indices getting smacked another 40-50%? Do you still got your 401k in that traditional 60-40 portfolio? Equities and bonds, worst years ever. S&P, one of the worst years in history. 60-40 portfolio, one of the worst years in history. What are we doing with the 401k, guys? Let me know in the comments down below, because holy smokes, the Wall Street program just gets absolutely smacked here if this continues on. Even the price structure of the Russell 2000 is sending a clear warning. It is in a clear rising wedge formation, which typically leads to a pullback to wave 4. That's the Russell 2000. Then the Federal Reserve's rapid rate hikes are causing lower corporate earnings, hurting consumer spending and business investments. This will lead to a stock market crash as lower earnings decrease a company's stock price and make it less attractive to investors. Our economy's been propped up and running on debt, right? So this is the main thing. Bonds have been in a bull run since the 1980s. I expect one more rally next year due to a recession, but after that, rates will reverse and hit double digits later this decade. This will be a drastic change from the disinflationary environment we are used to. Rising interest rates are a major threat to stocks. They make borrowing more expensive for businesses, which hurt their profits and lead to a decrease in demand for their products or services. Tech stocks are likely to underperform in an inflationary cycle, while sectors such as consumer goods and services may be more likely to benefit from rising prices. Commodities may also be a good option, as they may be able to maintain or increase their value, as we've been saying. Commodities. Got my silver right here. Do you got a little bit of precious metal as well? Commodities may also be a good option, guys. This is not financial advice. This is just this thread here from Hawes on what he's expecting. Passive investing through index funds may not be as successful in the coming years as active management. As interest rates rise, we will see shift from passive to active management as the market makes higher lows and lower highs. The end of the super cycle will bring a significant loss of wealth and a long downturn in the stock market, with stock prices falling and new highs in the indices unlikely for at least a decade. The cyclical bear market has begun. This is Great Depression levels. Guys, this is Great Depression levels getting hit, unfortunately. So we got to go through this. We got to buckle up, as Hawes says right here. Buckle up, because we are in for a bumpy ride. There are a number of factors that suggest we may be headed towards tough economic times, possibly even a depression. Here are a few key reasons why. Number one, declining consumer spending. Okay, historic lows, record lows consumer sentiment. That's not good, guys. Low savings rate. In addition to declining consumer spending, another worrying factor is the historic low savings rate. Many individuals and households are currently one payment away from bankruptcy. It is tight out there, getting really tight out there. Higher electricity bills. Number three, rising electricity costs will contribute to economic chaos. As the cost of electricity increases, it puts additional strain on households and businesses, leading to reduced spending and even bankruptcies. Number 4, businesses suffering. As consumer spending declines, businesses will experience decreased profits and will have to lay off employees, leading to a downward spiral of economic decline. This will have a ripple effect on the entire economy. Folks, do you think that it's a coincidence that this company's called Ripple? Do you think it's a coincidence? This company that has a new world reserve currency, it's about to be as liquid as a G10 currency, set out to put a dent in the universe. Do you think it's a coincidence that it's called Ripple? This will have a ripple effect on the entire economy. Economic disruption, number 5. The C-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on the economy, resulting in widespread unemployment and economic disruption. This, combined with declining consumer spending and businesses suffering, can lead to a serious downturn in the economy. 6, high levels of debt. Historic. How many times have we said historic in these threads? I mean, this is scary, guys. Historic levels of debt. This is scary if you don't have a plan. Let me finish up this thread and I'll tell you what I think about this opportunity for those of us that are tapped in and ready to take massive action. Historic levels of debt, particularly when combined with asset bubbles, makes the economy more vulnerable to a downturn. When individuals and businesses are heavily in debt, they are less able to withstand financial setbacks or economic challenges. Higher mortgage rates. This one's going to hurt. You understand how important real estate is here in the United States and other countries as well, but the U.S. Higher mortgage rates, less disposable income to spend on other goods and services, which leads to a decrease in consumer spending. A decline in the housing market also leads to a decrease in consumer confidence. 8, geopolitics. The ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine has resulted in economic sanctions and trade disruptions that have negatively impacted the global economy. Such external events are creating uncertainty and instability, leading to a decrease in consumer spending. 2 incredible threads there from MF Hawes on Twitter. Huge shout out. And I thought that those were great threads tying together what just played out in 2022. I've been talking about this, how it's been a historically poor year for the traditional portfolio for the 401k retirement program that Wall Street shills are going to push on you guys. 60% equities, 40% bonds, one of the worst years ever. In terms of the bond market, it is the worst year ever, as we just went through the data, reaching historic lows in consumer spending, savings, sentiment, business debt, mortgage rates increasing. The mortgage and the real estate. I'm about to do another real estate session here with my Discord group because the real estate deals that are about to come online are going to be very fantastic. And an incredible opportunity for millennials like myself that are looking to enter into the property game, property asset class. It's going to be an incredible opportunity for us, guys. We really have to be tapped in if you're looking to make that move and do it the right way. And the reason why real estate turns me on is the tax-favored asset class that it is. The ability to combine it with business, and you get the ultimate in tax savings and strategies, along with a few other things as well that we have, professional accountants to help us with, legal structures, and our lawyers setting up the entities as well. So you get everything structured right, and then we just focus on taking advantage of these opportunities within our businesses. And as you're seeing what's about to come online because of the data points that I just listed, that's a unfortunate situation for many people, many Americans in your country as well, wherever you're tuning in. The businesses are going to be for sale. The real estate's going to be for sale. These assets, precious metals can still get manipulated lower, just like our cryptocurrencies as well. Are you going to be able to take advantage of that opportunity is the question that we have at hand. I have an incredible thread here as he wrapped up that last thread on geopolitics. This next thread's very interesting, and brings up some of the main players on the world stage. Let me take a sip of coffee. And if you appreciate the energy tonight, let's smash that thumbs up. Sorry, guys, I'm like jacked up. Got the coffee rolling and I was getting back. And I was excited to get back to work, man. After Christmas, incredible time with the family, holidays, love it, blessed, incredible spot. I'm super thankful. I was ready to get back to work. We got a lot to do, guys. As we wrap up this year, 2022, 22 was a master destroyer, master builder number. We're rolling into the year 322, 2023. They got a little bit more in store for us next year. I believe it's going to be a massive year. 2023, flip it, reverse, 322. If you understand the numbers and why the numbers matter to the elites and the master maker magicians, the puppet masters, then we start to figure out their program and what they have planned for us and what we're up against. We understand the enemy. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get it rolling, okay? This thread's incredible. Dmitry Medvedev. And this guy is Russian government official. Dmitry Medvedev. We like to report from both sides. That's all we're doing here tonight. Chris, I appreciate the super chat, 999. I would love to see you do a show with Economic Ninja. Yeah, big respect. Economic Ninja, massive platform, massive guy, credible success. I like his work. I do like Economic Ninja. He's a good guy. I do like his stuff. Okay, from Dmitry, from the Russian government right here. Here's the program. Here's the division. Here's the chaos. Coming into year 322. Going to be an interesting one. On the New Year's Eve, everybody's into making predictions. Many come up with futuristic hypotheses as if competing to single out the wildest and even the most absurd ones. Here's our humble contribution. What can happen in 2023? Number one, oil price will rise to $150 a barrel and gas price will top $5 per 1 cubic meter. Number two, the UK will rejoin the EU. Number three, the EU will collapse after the UK's return. Euro will drop out of use as the former EU currency. Currency resets underway. Number four, Poland and Hungary will occupy western regions of the formerly existing Ukraine. Five, gets interesting. I'm just reporting his comments here. Number five, the Fourth Reich will be created, encompassing the territory of Germany and its satellites, i.e. Poland, the Baltic states, Czechia, Slovakia, the Kiev Republic, and other outcasts. War will break out between France and the Fourth Reich. Europe will be divided, Poland repartitioned in the process. Number seven, Northern Ireland will separate from the UK and join the Republic of Ireland. Number eight, civil war will break out in the United States. California and Texas becoming independent states as a result. Texas and Mexico will form an allied state. Elon Musk will win the presidential election in a number of states which, after the new civil war's end, will have been given to the GOP. 9. All the largest stock markets and financial activity will leave the US and Europe and move to Asia. 10. The Bretton Woods system of monetary management will collapse, leading to the IMF and World Bank crash. Euro and dollar will stop circulating as the global reserve currency. Digital fiat currencies will be actively used instead. Season greetings to you all. Okay, so here's the deal, folks. You see, obviously, there's two sides. There's two main sides right here, and you see what they're expecting. You see the plan here. And this is why we are having this conversation with XRP as a world reserve currency. How do we solve the debt, liquidity, and currency crisis within this country, within your country? Because whether you're in America or not, this impacts everyone. Now let's go back through this. The euro and the dollar to stop circulating as global reserve currencies. Folks, the fact of the matter is that has already happened within the BRICS nations. They are dropping our currencies and they're dropping our treasury notes. They're no longer buying our debt. All the largest stock markets and financial activity will leave the US and Europe and move to Asia. Well, look at what's happening just within cryptocurrency, how Singapore has become a hub for cryptocurrency. And other markets within Asia have become major markets. Huge on-demand liquidity is fired up over there for RippleXRP. We already know about that. We've been leading the way over there in that Asia-Pacific market. But all the largest stock markets and financial activity, right, are leaving the rigged United States market. And we've seen them get jacked up. And we've seen them have to shut it down. Not just the stock market, the London Metals Exchange as well. So this is already happening. Now, number 8. And this is why, as an American, I like to talk about my country, what's taking place. It's a very interesting situation that we have. The states are divided. The United States is divided right now. You have California, which is a completely different country in reality than other countries, right? Now, he says Texas becoming an independent state as a result. And this is where this gets interesting in the United States, is because I've been waiting and I've been watching some of these other states have been making moves that basically are forcing the hand of the federal government. So there's many battles that are taking place within this country right now, right? Now, for me, many of the issues that our country faces are not political. No, as someone who believes in the Constitution, the Republic of the United States of America, right? There's a reason why we're a republic. There's a reason why we have the Constitution. There's a reason why we're making a claim that if they do the same thing that they did with gold to our XRP, that we understand our Fifth Amendment rights to get paid just compensation if they take that property. And that's why I titled this episode here, XRP in America, is because I'm going to show you guys at the end of the session for further comments on this buyback proposal and why the conversation matters, right? But we understand that if it's not going to be XRP, right, then we have other assets like gold that are being stockpiled by banks. We have CBDC pilots that are already underway within many of these countries, okay? We're seeing a situation in Europe that is definitely very interesting, okay? And then we see here that, obviously the BRICS nations, Russia included, are all working together, new deals being done. As he started out by saying the oil price will rise to $150 a barrel and gas price will top $5. They've been very strategic in the deals that they're doing now going forward. They're really forcing the hand of some of these other countries, saying pay us in rubles or pay us in gold, And when they bring on the distributed ledger technology, this is only going to make the trade and the replacement of the US dollar and the euro as reserve currencies happen faster. So that's why this conversation matters, and that's why the timeline is so pressing, and why I speak with such urgency when I have this conversation is because we're right here. This is underway. Other countries are already ahead of the game. What was it, last live stream? We were talking about Zimbabwe. They're holding on to their lithium, and then they're backing their currency by gold. And this is the commodity battle that's underway. The real value, the suppressed assets getting unleashed. And now we are waiting for the pools of liquidity to come into our liquidity tokens, liquidity exchange tokens like XRP and XLM. Now, while we watch the crypto situation unfold, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse says the $3.7 billion Wells Fargo violation overshadowed by FTX. Let's check out this article from the Daily HODL. So this is from Brad Garlinghouse. Ripple Labs CEO Brad Garlinghouse says that most people are obsessing over recent debacles in the crypto industry while ignoring what's going on in the traditional finance world. And this is why we include the whole traditional finance world in all of the current events in every single show that we put out, right, guys? Garlinghouse says that there is a wildly disproportionate amount of attention directed at the collapse of the crypto exchange FTX compared to banking giants Wells Fargo, which just paid $3.7 billion in fines for mismanaging customer funds. Quote, the world is appropriately outraged by SBF and FTX fraud, but when Wells Fargo mismanages billions in customer funds, it's barely a blip on the radar. Food for thought. And this is from Brad Garlinghouse. Oh, no. This is from CFPB Director Rohit Chopra. Wells Fargo was charged by the Consumer Finance Protection Board with mismanaging funds relating to auto loans, mortgages, and deposit accounts. Quote, oh, wait, no. That first quote was from Brad Garlinghouse, talking about the world being outraged by SBF and FTX fraud, but when Wells Fargo mismanages billions in customer funds as well, it's barely a blip on the radar. Food for thought. Yeah, that is from Brad Garlinghouse, right? And then this is from the CFPB director, Rohit Chopra. Quote, Wells Fargo rinse-repeat cycle of violating the law has harmed millions of American families. The CFPB is ordering Wells Fargo to refund billions of dollars to consumers across this country. This is an important initial step for accountability and long-term reform of this repeat offender. On top of the Big 10 figure fine, the CFPB also ordered Wells Fargo to, quote, stop charging surprise overdraft fees and make changes to certain aspects of its policy on auto loans. Garlinghouse has spoken out in the past about what he says is unreasonable scrutiny of the crypto industry. Earlier this week, he criticized U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission SEC Chair Gary Gensler for his lack of foresight on the collapse of FTX and its former CEO, Sam Bankman-Fried. Excuse me. The Ripple CEO said it was shameful that Gensler, who often lectures crypto firms on regulatory compliance, failed to see FTX disaster coming despite having multiple personal meetings with Bankman-Fried. Quote, it's ridiculous and frankly shameful that Chair Gensler was touting the SEC's enforcement actions as the cop on the beat, yet, per public reports, met with Sam Bankman-Fried multiple times, but was caught completely flat-footed when the alleged fraud finally came to light. Exactly. Yeah, so just completely dropping the ball, not only making sure that his Wall Street buddies at Goldman Sachs got that Ethereum free pass monopoly, but then choosing to have a blind eye to the FTX cabal chosen exchange. And oh, by the way, we also know that Gary Gensler did participate in that criminal campaign conspiracy that took place that we can't talk about, but those who know, that criminal campaign conspiracy, Gary Gensler was the CFO of that operation as well. And Brad Greenhouse calling it out properly. We have Wells Fargo and these traditional players that have definitely been taking advantage of their customers as well for years. So this one $3.7 billion fine, obviously they call them a repeat offender. And this is why we want to see all of this come onto blockchain, all of this onto distributed ledger, open source permissionless technology here that's ready to track everything and give us that level playing field, and to stop Wells Fargo and these traditional players from being able to take advantage of us. So while we call out FTX, while we call out the crypto Ponzi's too, I like to, stay even and call out the traditional players as well. Moving on, my good friend, the Bearable Bull. 2022 has been a horrendous year for crypto, let's be honest. Beginning of the year, we all expected better, but never came. It's been a hard and humbling year, but I expect the lessons learned to translate into millions for people that haven't quit. Consistency is everything, and absolutely, I couldn't agree more. And the thing that I would add is that it's been a horrendous year for cryptocurrency price, but when we see the underlying utility, adoption, on-demand liquidity growth, and the few utility projects that continue to add new team members, continue to grow new hires, and continue to develop in their ecosystems, that's something to believe in, right? That's something that we can grasp onto and still have conviction, because it's been a horrendous year for price, but it's actually been a pretty good year for adoption, growth, and value behind the scenes. And we're just waiting for that price discovery, as my good friend Bearable Bull is well aware of. We had a great conversation. That was a couple months ago now when I went and hung out with Bearable Bull there. But he's understanding of these suppressed assets in this new system that's about to be rolled out while the masses stay distracted on the clown show SBF FTX drama. And a horrible year for price, which price is a distraction. Price gets everyone emotional, and it's very tough to make investments and to hold on to these cryptos as they get smashed. And as we struggle through this recession, it's been tough. It's been a year, 2022, that has been horrendous for price action, but my conviction has grown. And I hope that yours has as well. And I believe that many people are, because I got tremendous feedback from the interview that we just did with Citizen of the Future. And I think we might actually be getting him back on again. He wants to do another session, it sounds like. And we had a great response. I just let him drop the sauce for us. And he's been able to make an incredible connections for the visual learners, some of the best visual mind maps, graphics, and the research that he's done is top notch. I really do think that he's one of the best researchers within the game right now. I put him up there with some of the best for sure. So I hope that during this bear market, I have been able, during this year of 2022 that we're wrapping up, which is just truly incredible, I hope that I've been able to, add to the conviction in the assets that we're investing in the businesses that we're growing, and in the people that we're becoming, right? Because for me, that's where I've been at. I haven't lost any conviction. There's no FUD taking place over here. And I just continue to, try to determine which allocation to make next. Should I buy some crypto next? Should I buy some precious metals? How much do I have enough on the sidelines for real estate? Is it time to invest more in the business? And that's where we've been at throughout this whole, bear market. I haven't even really been paying attention to the markets except when I was trading. And during the trading, I was taking a look at the markets. But other than that, on a day-to-day basis right now, I'm not even checking these prices. Did my deep dive on XDC here. I've been getting a lot of good feedback about that one as well. And I'm really looking forward. I got some more deep dives on the way for you guys. After a deep dive in XDC, I had to re-enter again. I had sold off my position earlier this year, tax loss harvesting, had to re-enter, and I like to stay transparent with you guys on the moves that I'm making. Had to add back to my bag because I just went, yeah, it's good. The price is good enough, and as I went through that deep dive, the summary conclusion, because everybody wants price predictions timeline, I just said that conservatively, people attack me for being crazy, having talking about 50,000 XRP. Well, in my deep dive of XDC, I just kept it conservative. I just said if, the market cap of cryptocurrency digital assets grows 10x between now and 2030 from 3 trillion is what we capped out at last year to 30 trillion, that's going to primarily pour into utility cryptocurrencies. And some of these ledgers by then could be settling hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars daily on them. So that takes us to a very fun price. 2-cent XDC is good enough. Now, I'm not here to give you financial advice, but for me, I said that's good enough. Can it get smacked another 50%? Just like I started this episode talking about how the S&P could go down another 40, 50%, some say. Cryptocurrencies would get beat up even worse, right? That's just further opportunity. That's the situation we're up against. We don't know when they're going to flip the switch. We don't know when they're going to turn this whole system off, turn it back on. We don't know when Congress is going to finally get their act together. We don't know when this staged SEC lawsuit is going to get done with. And so it's been funny to watch the criticism and the mockery of the XRP army while these other guys, maybe they did catch some gains on their other little cryptos, right? But they continue to make fun of us for holding XRP and just being bag holders. Well, it's like, my friend, we don't know when this staged lawsuit's going to end. So I got to make sure that I have a bag, and when that is over, when all truth is revealed in the lawsuit and when XRP is once again deemed a currency and then its utility is unleashed, I got to make sure that I have enough. I can't, play games here while these exchanges are delisting it, while I understand the macro fundamentals of this economy, the currency debt reset that's underway. We can't time out the exact date here, but what we can see right now is that this thing could potentially go lower. So when I buy XDC at 2 cents, I say, fine, I'm going to buy some now, and I have some on the sidelines too if we go lower. If we go down to 1 cent, if XRP goes down to 30 cents again, that's fine. They won't lose any conviction, and I want you guys to be prepared for that because I am super excited. I have a lot of energy, as you guys can tell, for this next year, 2023. I'm super excited about it, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to bottom out in the first quarter of this year, or at some point during this year. And, and like I said, crypto's probably going to go first, stocks will follow, and then real estate's probably going to bottom out thereafter within the next 12 to 18 months. For real estate, probably next 3 to 6 months for the cryptos and stocks. So we're still there. We still have more pain to go. As unfortunate as that is, it's been a long year for sure. We're close though. We're very close, right? And I got a couple more things here to show you guys before I rant on much further. Thank you for joining tonight. Actually, so just massive, further conviction, further great news for XRP and our utility cryptocurrencies. Historic wallet count for XRP reaching all-time highs. This is from XRP Randy. This is the XRP rich list. We have 4.5 million XRP wallets. Historic wallet count for XRP. I've also seen recently that XRP is trending in some countries as well on some platforms. Some of these exchanges and platforms, XRP has been trending in some of the top cryptos. I think it was the top crypto on crypto.com actually in Canada, if I'm not mistaken. Now this one's from DS, Xpunks DS. Fact, Ripple has been one of the only Web3 companies that have not laid off a large number of employees this bear market. Yeah, and I retweeted this too, and I said, and who else has the ability to drop 100 million on an SEC lawsuit as well during this bear market? So not only have they been adding to their team members, adding more employees, more developers, they're running a $250 million NFT fund, but then they dropped 100 milli on the fraudulent SEC Ripple lawsuit. Now, another update here from DS. Today, both parties in the SEC Ripple file omnibus motions to seal materials relating to motions for summary judgment. Excuse me. January 4th is the deadline for third parties to request to seal materials related to the summary judgment motions. The lawsuit is nearing its end. And this is why I'm not waiting. I'm not playing. I don't play around with my XRP. I got it stacked away. I've continued to add to my positions all the way back down here to 30 cents once again, where I first started accumulating my bags, right? And I just keep stacking some away, just with the rest of these utility cryptocurrencies that follow behind XRP and have been suppressed with this SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. And this case against Ripple really has held back a lot of the space too, I would argue, in itself, a lot of the space and innovation here being held back because of the uncertainty from the SEC and the corruption of our Congress that still has not passed cryptocurrency regulations. Now, what is about to break here that these guys might have got the tip on? This is an incredible theory here from Digital Asset Investor. And he's responding to Anders, who says a lot of hate is directed towards XRP right now, even by leaders of other projects. Just now we had Craig Wright, who claims that he's the real Satoshi, right? Attacking XRP and had a thread against David Schwartz. We also had the Hoskinson meltdown and Vitalik calling XRP completely centralized. Do they know something? Digital Asset Investor says, this is my theory. If you piece together what Hoskinson was saying, it feels like they've heard whispers that XRP gets clarity while the rest of the digital assets are left in purgatory with targets on their backs. Just a theory, but this would explain the ferocious attacks of late. So they understand that the rest of the space is under attack, right? And that Ripple XRP is going to be the first cryptocurrency through the door with the green light. So when the banks and financial institutions are trying to fix the liquidity crisis, trying to replace the reserve currency, trying to reset the debt, trying to do all of those objectives, right? Maybe potentially roll out a CBDC, maybe potentially build their own sidechain on XRP or some other utility cryptocurrency that can actually scale and get the job done. Remember, I'm not saying it's all XRP, but I like DAI's theory there that these guys got the tip. They know, they're jealous. And that's the truth. They're jealous. See, everyone's jealous of the XRP army because Ripple's the furthest along in developing out the ecosystem, is the best company, has the best board of directors, has the best team in the world, in the space, not even close. And then the utility and the function and the scalability, the actual tech of XRP just works. Just works so freaking good for payments, which is the highest value problem that our world really has. I mean, one of the highest value problems that this world faces. These guys, Charles Hoskinson, Vitalik, and so many people from other projects, Craig Wright, all attacking XRP and Ripple. And I really believe that, there's a lot of jealousy in this space. Brad and team able to go to the BIS, IMF, World Economic Forum, while these other projects can't get these guys to pick up the phone, can't get a meeting. Now we have a few of our other projects that do interest us, Quant and others, even Electronium on the Digital Pound Foundation, Digital Euro Foundation, Digital Dollar Project, Algorand, some of our other utility cryptocurrencies definitely sitting at the tables that matter, but there's no attacks that compare to what the XRP army has really had to go through. And the confusion in the space right now as well. And it is unfortunate. And, I hope to not add to any of the confusion and the conflict and the, the issues of the XRP community by talking about this buyback. I know it's been very controversial. And I'm about to show you guys a clip here at the end of Jimmy Valley speaking. But for me, I've been trying to provide clarity, real documentation, and then let you guys know when I'm adding my speculation, when I'm doing my maths, my calculations, and I'm coming up with my price for you guys. And it's my speculation, it's not financial advice. But then I also want to lead you guys to the real documentation, the real evidence. As we covered with utility theory, there's plenty of it. There's plenty of connections. It's complete corruption up to the highest levels that we've been up against, not only in this SEC versus Ripple lawsuit, but against all of our government right here in the United States. And incredible to watch it finally get flipped. Now, like I said, we got to have a conversation about how we reset the reserve currency. I want to show you guys this little back and forth here from one of our favorites, Peter Schiff. So we got Peter Schiff going back and forth with the Bitcoin boys. Peter Schiff says, you're trapped in a bubble. Gold hasn't consistently failed as money for thousands of years. It has consistently succeeded. It's government and paper money that have failed, not gold. In contrast, Bitcoin has yet to succeed as money and never will. Rob Keent's, Dylan LeClaire, who's Bitcoin Max, he says, if gold served its purpose as global money, why are 8 billion people using free float fiat government currencies today? Rob Keent says, because the governments all made it illegal so they can steal from you using inflation. You have a long way to go to understand the big game. Sincerely hope you get there and find your true freedom from the state. And that's important to understand here, right? Is the governments have done these games with gold in the past. They still make it hard to get some of these assets today. Not only are the cryptocurrencies off these exchanges, but your ability to get these precious metals as well. And the scarcity of these metals actually is increasing as well. And huge manipulation taking place, not only with derivatives, but on the actual reports of how much gold's coming out of the ground and how much countries staying in countries like Russia, China, and these other BRICS nations, countries like Zimbabwe, that are going to keep these commodities for themselves. we're not getting the true numbers on how much gold is actually getting saved and kept within those countries, right? So there's about to be a major price discovery within these precious metals. And the light shines in the darkness. Matthew Liny said this: don't forget this statement from the BIS. Gold is durable and largely imperishable, and nobody's liability if you hold it physically in your vaults, which frees it from default or counterparty risk. So like we've been talking about, guys, here, precious metals definitely ready to play a role. And it's funny, I just put out a video, XRP gold reset, and I get the hate, the usual haters and trolls are always going to be there, and that's fine. But it's just interesting to see. I just listen to the feedback and the criticism so that I can, continue to answer and provide the best, answers and content for you guys. But the amount of people that think that, I just think that it's like a given that XRP is going to be, basically deemed systemically important, that there's going to be a buyback, and that our CBDC is going to be backed by gold. When I clearly said in the video that as an American, this is how I would like to see our country fix our issues. The conversation that we're having here from Peter Schiff, the Bitcoin Maxis, and myself is what is ready to be a reserve currency, as liquid as a G10 currency, and actually has, removes the trust and the counterparty risk that our system has been tainted with. Which is why what has brought us to today, where countries are ditching dollars, countries are destroying the value of their currencies, they're resetting the debt, resetting the currencies, hoarding their own commodities, right? Only doing certain trade deals with commodities and currencies that they want. And this is why, like I said, down below, precious metals, if you guys are looking to roll over your 401k retirement plan to precious metals, I have someone down below, go speak with my people that will help you roll over your 401k retirement to precious metals. We believe in metals big time. And I'm not here to give you financial advice, obviously, but I've showed you guys that I have stacked a considerable percentage of my portfolio in physical silver. Now, the people that I've partnered up with, they will deliver the metal to your door. So if you want to make a big purchase, if you got some big bags to make some serious investments in precious metals, or you want to roll over your 401k retirement program to precious metals, my people will help you get in touch, and they're a very reputable source that's been trusted for a very long time here. Get in touch with them down below, Precious Metals link, or at the top of my website, that Precious Metals link. Okay? But we believe that precious metals plays a role. We believe that cryptocurrency digital assets like XRP play a role as well. And it's just a discussion, a debate of how big of a role will they play. But we've invested accordingly in both, and that's how we've hedged our bets, right? But what's interesting to me here is talking about the BIS and how, they've changed the requirements through Basel III so that the banks are going to be holding more of their own gold, right, and precious metals. And then now they made it so that banks can basically custody 2% of their reserves in digital assets. We just got that from the BIS as well. Okay, so we see here that the BIS believes not only in precious metals, but they believe in crypto digital assets. They only believe them in 2%. They believe that 2% is safe enough, okay? And in my opinion, that's just a start. That doesn't actually go into effect. The digital asset rule, 2% rule, doesn't go into effect until January 1st, 2025, but it's a start, and that's what matters. And then the pools of liquidity are on the way. Now, I did want to go take a look at the current market cap of gold, so I Googled it. 11.939 trillion. Okay. Now, I've been mentioning, guys, that there's a difference here between market cap and liquidity value. This is the problem. The main problem here with gold is that it's just not liquid. We need the distributed ledger technology, and so we're already seeing gold represented on the XRP ledger. We'll see it on XLM. We're going to see it on many other ledgers, but what's going to be, the chosen ledgers to actually use, and tokenize commodities and these larger markets that, for instance, gold, you have 11 trillion parked in it in a market cap, but that's much different from the liquidity value of these networks like SWIFT, ACI Worldwide, the clearinghouse banks, the FedNow payment system, and these other domestic payment system rails that move trillions of dollars daily easily, right? We have a major difference between liquidity value and market cap. And so while gold, I believe, has been suppressed and is a good opportunity, it already has 11 trillion parked in it. How much further can that market cap grow, that investment into that commodity? I think that it can go quite a bit. And I think that there can be a price shock, a price discovery moment once the derivatives market gets set straight, once the Basel III requirements get into full effect, and we see this reset completed. I think that we're going to see a price discovery for gold, silver, and the other suppressed assets. And clearly, they believe that we have to restructure this because they're changing the rules, confirming what we've been believing this whole time here, that this is underway and what assets are going to play a key role. Now, there's people out there that believe that Bitcoin is going to be the world reserve. There's people that think that Ethereum is going to be the answer, that Ethereum is going to be the end all be all. God bless them. Hope it works out for them. I don't think that that program's going to work out. Now, XRP in America, quote, "Of course they are going to use it," is the title of tonight's show. And I'm about to show you guys a little clip here from Jimmy Valley from Val Hill Capital, who's been heading up this confidential committee talking about a $50,000 XRP buyback. And in this clip, he's going to address the goal, what we're doing here, and how there's a separate committee for coming up with the valuation of XRP. And just very simply what he's trying to do. This guy, he's just a good old Texas boy, trying to basically understand the property rights that we have as digital asset investors, and trying to understand the value, the potential of this new asset class, and in particular, this currency that Ripple, IMF, the World Economic Forum, and others have stated is ready to be serving as a multi-currency bridge asset, multi-currency bridge token, right? So in this clip that I'm about to play here from Jimmy Valley, I'm going to show you guys, he's talking here about the United States government, how they haven't been able to say that they aren't going to use it, because of course they are going to use it, he says. So that's Jimmy's speculation, but I do find it interesting that, they're not coming out and denying that they're not going to use it. And the 43rd Treasurer of the United States did leave to go join the board of directors at Ripple, the lady who was in charge of creating the new currency and oversaw our country's gold supply, simply stating that the gold is there in Fort Knox. God bless you, Rosie. I sure hope that you're right about that it's still there, that the gold is at Fort Knox. And then as she's told us, the train has left the station, and if you aren't in already, you're late. I was going to play a clip that I just found, that Rosie Rios clip, but it has some music over it. But I'll go back and find the original audio, and it's the clip of her saying that the train has left the station. But then she kind of comes in like it kind of it's like stern, and is like, and if you haven't got in late, you're late. Like if you haven't got in yet, you're late. And she was like pretty stern about it. So I got to go find the original clip for you guys. But it's interesting to see here what the confidential committee has been able to come up with. Remember, the only reason why it's called confidential committee is because some members want their privacy kept. Okay. It's not about being secret. It's not about being cool. I bust out the red folder because I like having fun. And golly, can we have a little bit of fun during a bear market? Can I put my documents in a red folder? I had to go buy some more printer paper this weekend because I'm going to be printing out more documents because it's fun to print out the documents, to be able to slam my table and say, gosh dang it, what the hell is our government doing about this situation here? Now, Jimmy Valley is a good old boy from Texas that's trying to get something done, trying to build utility on the XRP ledger. He's come under attack lately. His motives, his intentions. Does he have something to promote? Does he have a business to run? Does he want to take care and feed his family? Yes, we all do. We all do. He's been nothing but honest and forward with his intentions with me. I've had incredible conversations with Jimmy. I'm going to play this clip here, and then I'm going to give you guys a little bit further thoughts on this. I understand it's been a hot topic in the community, but I've just been trying to provide clarity and why this discussion has been important to me. Okay, let's see what Jimmy has to say here.
I understand people hear a big number and like, oh, that's ridiculous. But I just think they're not thinking about it correctly. If you started to think about it from the perspective of, okay, it is clear to us now that the government has suppressed on purpose the adoption of the asset. Why are they doing that, right? What is the ultimate goal? Can the government come out and definitively tell us they're not going to use XRP in transactions going forward? They can't do that because, of course, they are going to use it. So, we're providing that counterbalance, that party out there that's saying, no, if the use case is fully realized and, all assets are tokenized and the XRPL becomes the layer one that all value transmits on, which has been the stated goal since the beginning, that's been reconfirmed by the World Economic Forum, by the IMF, certainly Ripple. I mean, it's been discussed in professional circles plain as day in multiple, readings. That's what everybody has learned as they've done their research. So we're just trying to put a number on that, right? What is that?
Right. What is that value? What is that value? And even if XRP is not going to see all that value, like, we talk about all the money, even just capturing a sliver of it, right? And he's talking about why have they suppressed it? Why XRP? Why Ripple? Why was this crypto the one that they decided to go after, right? And you guys need to understand, right? We're talking about our Fifth Amendment right here in America. Let me pull up and read you guys the Fifth Amendment real quick, just so you guys understand what we're talking about here. The Fifth Amendment of the United States Constitution reads here. I'm only gonna read the second half of it, because the first part's about double jeopardy. Second part is right here. Nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. This goes all the way back, one of the first original amendments, the Fifth Amendment. If they try to take back our property, right, which they have done in the past, specifically when they chose to reset our currency and a new monetary system was agreed upon, they did a buyback and then they set the price higher. So we have to understand our rights. There's additional part of this conversation that's important. Article 12 of the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, without getting too deep into legal jargon and definitions, it's very simple, okay? They're looking to add an article to the UCC that would essentially say that if you don't make a claim on your property from the time that it's been stolen or taken from you in 2 years, that digital property, your rights would be undermined, and the buyer of that stolen property would have superior rights to you. It has been law that has been adopted in 4 states already, including Wyoming. Article 12, take free rule, and you guys need to check that out. And then we got to understand that here in America, we have a constitution. God bless us for still having somewhat of a rule of law in this country as we battle the corruption in this jurisdiction that we call the United States of America, that once was a republic, been hijacked by communists, hijacked by evil people with an agenda to destroy everything that made this country great. That's what we're up against. We hold a little precious piece of technology code that can function so well in the real world of the payments infrastructure that could potentially service a reserve currency role on the world stage and be a bridge asset to all forms of value in the ever-increasing internet of value. And God forbid, they've already been able to put a taint on our title. They've already tainted the title of this property here with this SEC versus Ripple lawsuit. God forbid they did some sort of forced buyback. God forbid they did some sort of deal where we weren't able to buy XRP going forward. We weren't able to own it. We had to sell it at a certain price. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but they did it in the 1930s. They took back the gold. It's like $20 an ounce. Then they set it above $30 an ounce. Now, I will say, and as I said in my video, XRP and gold to reset the dollar, that is how you would fix the debt crisis, liquidity crisis, and currency crisis. Now, liquidity crisis is obvious. XRP on-demand liquidity functions great. Currency crisis, okay? You would have a bridge currency that would tap you into the rest of the whole world, and then you'd be able to build your own CBDC on the XRP ledger in one day and back it by whatever you want. I would prefer that we back it by gold, right? But then the debt crisis. How do you fix a debt crisis? You can either one, print your way out of it, which is what they've done up to this point. Record amount of inflation, $30 trillion in debt, over $100 trillion in unfunded liabilities. How do you pay back that debt? How do you pay back that unfunded liabilities? How do you pay back that promises? Your Ponzi scheme that is Social Security is bust. You do what they did with gold. You do it with XRP, you do it with gold, you do it with a form of these suppressed assets. XLM. Now, you know Jed McCaleb has great ties to the Federal Reserve System. Right? What you do is you do a buyback, a forced buyback at a lower price, and then you set it at a higher price after you reap all that profit. Now, I get a lot of criticism, and I want to open it up for questions at this point. We have 900 people in the chat. If you guys can do me a major favor, smash that thumbs up for me, okay? And let's get into the Q&A session. I understand a lot of questions, a lot of concerns, and a lot of criticism for this buyback theory, this buyback proposal, which is not just a theory, it's a real proposal. And as I've stated here, it is just an insurance claim, a piece of paper that we can take into a court of law. God forbid our rights are undermined as digital asset investors, not only with XRP, but remember, I told you guys how this applies to our Songbird on Coinbase and our Flare that's going to be coming to Coinbase as well. See, Article 12 of the Take Free rule here talks about if you don't make a claim within 2 years, Coinbase in this scenario would be able to sell off your Songbird token, sell off your Flare, which they may have already done. They may have already sold off IOUs. And if we don't make a claim within 2 years, the rights of that buyer down the line would be superior to ours. Now, a lot of people ask, why don't they just buy all the XRP at 35 cents today? Folks, there is not that much XRP available on the secondary markets. Okay. Now, obviously, Ripple has $1 billion released to them each month, but they're only giving the public, mostly and primarily their on-demand liquidity partners, 20% of that escrow is being sold per month. 80% of it goes back to escrow. So there's not enough supply to buy back enough on the public markets. Now, if they pumped it to $5 or $10, yes, there would be a lot of XRP for sale. There'd be a lot of people willing to give up their XRP. For sure. Super chat from AR. Thank you for the 5 spot. Exemption repurchase policy, a comprehensive conditional agreement and protection policy from undervaluation and mandatory forfeiture of digital assets. I like that. Exemption repurchase policy, XRP. I like that. I like that. That's exactly what it is. Now, so that's one of the popular criticism and questions. Why don't they just buy it all off the secondary markets right now? There's not enough. Maybe they could get a few billion, maybe even 10 billion, right? Pump it to 10, 20, 30 bucks. They'd be able to get a lot of people to sell. I would sell off some, even at 10, 20, 30 bucks. Yeah, that's part of my exit strategy, not financial advice, of course, right? I've been very transparent with my exit strategy for XRP. I only have about 10% of my XRP bag that I'm planning on selling off along the way. The asset's going to be mine forever. I'm going to pass it on down to my family. Right? What else are we working with? Guys? I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in tonight. Please, if you haven't already, let's smash that thumbs up for me. Feels so good to be back. I'm so excited about 2023, guys. Massive amount of opportunities for us coming online. It's just a blessing. So many opportunities. We got to stay focused and we should have positive energy. It's been a rough year, and you would like to think that it couldn't get any worse than this last year, right? But I'm here to say from the markets, we are going to bottom out potentially coming into this next year. So it will get worse for a brief moment in time potentially. Let's take advantage of that opportunity. But then we're about to make it through to the other side. Primarily this new digital asset space, this new technology that can play a fundamental role in this currency reset, which is what this whole damn conversation's about, which is why a lot of the other cryptocurrencies, it just don't get me excited. Like XRP does, and XLM and some of these others that can actually do something like this, like restructure debt, currency, and liquidity crisis all in one. And I like to say energy crisis as well, because XRP can track the carbon credits. So if we do want to track who's doing the worst polluting, we could do that. And XRP doesn't harm the environment really at all. Let me know what you guys are working with. What are your plans for 2023? You guys are going to be able to take advantage of the bottom that's coming in cryptocurrency? Are you going to be able to buy some real estate coming up this year? Are you looking at potential businesses to take over, acquire? Incredible opportunity. Are you working a job where your boss is about to retire? Your boss has had enough, and maybe you can step up and take it over. See, there's so many opportunities here for you guys. Not everyone has to have entrepreneur in your bio and try to be a cool kid. You don't have to do that. Is there an opportunity for you to grow at your existing job? What can we do right now? What are you guys working with? Let me know. Power grid attack. There's been multiple power grid attacks across this country recently. Thank you so much, guys. Buy a ton of real estate. Yeah, I'm super excited for the deals to come online. Should I put 1K into Ethereum or XRP? Well, if you have to ask the question, then you got to do more research. Personally, I'm not interested in ever touching Ethereum. Shout out to the trolls. See, we got our regulars in the house. Dude, I'm 100% in line to take over my supervisor. There you go. There you go. Your boss is getting ready. Your boss doesn't have an exit plan. The guy who runs the whole damn show most likely does not have a serious exit strategy. You can be that exit strategy for him. Hey, boss, 5-year plan to buy out and take over this whole damn thing. You've already taught me this much. Teach me the rest. Give me 5 years, payback, seller finance. There you go. No money down. That's the secret sauce of the program. No money down seller finance for businesses, not real estate. You guys have seen the late night infomercials. No money down real estate. Take that program to business. Incredible opportunity. Working a side hustle and putting every cent into XRP and ADA. There you go. I like Cardano. I actually respect Charles. I don't care about the BS drama with Charles. I really just, yeah, he hates on XRP, whatever. He's just jealous. It's fine. Study more. Is that your plan? That's great. That's what I've taken advantage of this year, is been able to deep dive some of these projects. Like even just XDC was one that I already had believed in, but it was good to go back and refresh my mind and replenish my bags. Great opportunity to study right now. Don't get caught up in just listening to podcasts and audiobooks. So got to match that same energy with action. Quant, there you go. We've had a long journey, Zach. I'm getting tired of waiting. Well, for me, it's been a focus on other things right now that you can actually control. Focus on what you can control on. If you're waiting on your XRP like me, we focus on our business. Get ready to move on real estate. What other opportunities can you take advantage of? Is your health in check? Guys, we got to get our health in check right now. We got to get tapped in. I've been trying to do better, but I just, to be honest, I put more energy into my business than I have health working out. I quit working out this last year because my mentor said that none of the big hitters have a 6-pack. So I said, got the program. None of the big hitters have a 6-pack. Okay. So I stopped working out, which I understand. Dan Pena is my mentor and he just talks shit. I understand health is very important, but for me, it was business. Now trying to, implement health, which thankful to my wife, she helps me actually eat healthy and stay tapped in there and not get too crazy and not have too many light adult beverages in the evening time. We got to get right though. We got to get right, guys. Incredible. We're under attack in so many ways. My sports card business is growing along with oilfield career. I'm pumped. I love to hear that, man. Love to hear it. How do you buy Spark tokens? I think does BitTrue have Flare IOUs, I believe? BitTrue, I believe, has IOUs. Are you familiar with Theta? I am familiar with Theta, yeah. Yeah. God, it's been a fun session tonight. Well over an hour now here. We're pressing on. Appreciate you guys so much. We ran up the chat over 900 in the YouTube. Thank you so much, guys. Okay. I love this. I love this. Bailey, moving to a more freedom-friendly and favorable area and rent for 6 to 12 months, then wait for the real estate market to crash, then take advantage of discounted everything. Bailey, I love that because I'm looking at my area's totally, my state's being ran to hell. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. It's very interesting to look at the other options, the other markets. My area is very overpriced in my opinion. The value that you get for what you pay for is trash, literally, which is unfortunate, but that's, where I've grown up my whole life. So I'm looking at my options in that regard as well. Yeah. Especially for tax purposes and, legal purposes. Yeah. I have no plans though for the Puerto Rico, Costa Rica. I got no plans for that. Yeah. I like to go to those warm places during the winter. I do like traveling, but I don't plan really on upending my family to go any Costa Rica, Puerto Rico. I thought this was a good question, brother. Okay, you asked, how do we break out of this deer in the headlights feeling? I suffer from this feeling there is no time and that all will be not, and we will be China 2.0 before we know it, trying to change. For me, it's been business. For me, it's been business success, focusing on what I can control. For me, it was working out. I worked out. What was that? 2021, right? Last year, I did work out, and that put me in one of the best spots, one of the best moods I've been in a long time. I was in the best shape that I'd probably been in since high school, and I felt great, and I was doing good in business and getting things going too. And so for me, those were the two big things: is working out every day and actually, getting a physical like workout and getting a sweat going, and then business, focusing on business success and what I can control on, because that's something that you can believe in. That's something that you can believe in and actually change, right? It's been hard to watch the cryptos get smacked, man. I understand the deer in the headlights feeling. I understand procrastination. Ask my team about that. Shout out to my team helping me out here. With 2023, I want to take more action than I ever have. And I consider 2022 was a massive year, and so was 2021. 2021 and 2022 were massive years for action. Yeah. So that's how I would break out of that feeling there, AR. I am now trying to I don't like spending time. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't like spending time on the health stuff. Like, I don't like really reading health books or about that. To me, I just want the program put out in front of me. And, I don't really think about that, right? Like yeah, it doesn't excite me as much, but I understand it's important. And that's why I say shout out to Wifey, because she's got us on the program. She's been killing it. And ever since we had a child, we went all natural with our products, everything, and made a huge change in our life there in that regard. And so, do I eat the best? No, but we try to eat natural. Natural is where it's at. Natural food, natural products, organic. I started out this session by talking about the pork supply in Europe. What was that? Germany pig herd has shrunk by 20% in just 2 years. I understand what's underway here. So I went and I've already made a deal with my local farmer for beef, right? So getting your hands on good organic, it's high quality protein foods, knowledge, education programs. And that's why I think it's important right now that we invest in ourselves during this bear market, because we can't control, these outer forces, these markets, these currency resets that have us caught up and wearing us out, all the distractions wearing us out, right? It's hard, but we can focus on that. We can control that. Yeah, all the news is depressing. That's why, for me, I like to always do my streams. We cover the current events in the news, and then we talk about how we take advantage, how we invest, how we grow. Because like I said, yeah, it is. Yeah, I agree. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up this session. Everything is linked on down below the website. You guys can get tapped in over there. If you're looking right, I'm running the special between now and the end of this year. If you pay for a year's up front of your Discord membership, not only will you get a 16% off price, 16% off, but you're also going to get a one-on-one session with myself included for free for 30 minutes. So a free 30-minute one-on-one session, 16% discount if you take advantage by the end of this year for signing up for the Patreon for a 1-year membership in our Discord group. So we really would love to see you guys take advantage of that and come join to the family and the community of investment or research that's taking place over there. Incredible family, incredible group, and I'm super excited actually for the back end value that we're able to put together right now, the resources, the team that we've assembled, and the community of people that are willing to go help others that we've been able to, gather around. Really going to help a lot of people coming into this next year. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'd love to see you guys take advantage of that. Talk to your tax professional as well about being able to write off the cost of your Discord membership, because we do have our business development program within our Discord membership. So talk to your tax professional. You may be able to write off your Discord membership if you run your own business. And I highly encourage you guys to take action right now as we roll on in. Let's not wait till the first of the year, right? We have this year to wind down, okay, and spend a little bit more time with our families. Enjoy the holidays. I hope you guys are all staying healthy and staying blessed out there. But let's line it up and let's get ready to take massive action in the opportunities that are coming to us in 2023. It's going to be an absolute blessing. I appreciate all of you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow, okay? Take care. Stay safe. God bless.